The fluorescent lights of the municipal courthouse flickered as Commander Marcus Thompson sat quietly in the defendant's chair. His posture militaried straight, despite the civilian clothes he wore. At 38, he'd survived 3 tours in the most dangerous corners of the world as a Navy SEAL, but nothing had prepared him for this moment. He was here fighting a traffic ticket stop that never should have happened. Officer Derek Halstead stood at the prosecutor's table, his chest puffed with confidence. The same officer who'd pulled Marcus over 6 months ago for suspicious behavior in his own neighborhood, the same officer who'd escalated a simple conversation into a physical confrontation. The same officer whose dashboard camera had mysteriously malfunctioned that night. Your Honor, Halstead began, his voice dripping with practiced authority. The defendant became belligerent and threatening during a routine traffic stop. I had every reason to believe that's a lie, Marcus said calmly. Judge Patricia Morrison raised her eyebrow. Commander Thompson, you'll have your chance to speak. Halstead's face reddened. He turned toward Marcus, jabbing his finger. You people always think the rules don't apply to you. Walking around like you own the place, plain soldier, Officer Halstead. Judge Morrison's gavel cracked like thunder. You will address the defendant properly, or I will hold you in contempt. But Halstead was beyond restraint now. 6 months of waiting, 6 months of desk duty, while Internal Affairs investigated him for other complaints. 6 months of rage building. He crossed the courtroom floor in 3 aggressive strides. You think that uniform makes you special? You think what happened next occurred in seconds? Halstead grabbed Marcus's collar. Marcus remained perfectly still, his hands visible on the table, his eyes forward. He knew this trap. He'd seen it before. Any reaction, any movement, and he'd be the aggressor in the official report. Officer Halstead stepped back immediately. Judge Morrison was standing now, her bailiff moving forward. But Halstead shoved Marcus backward, the chair toppling. Marcus's head struck the corner of the defense table with a sickening crack. Blood began pooling on the courtroom floor. The courtroom erupted in chaos. Spectators shouted. The bailiff grabbed Halstead, pulling him away. Judge Morrison was calling for an ambulance, her voice sharp with fury. Marcus touched the back of his head, his fingers coming away crimson. The room swam slightly, but his training kicked in. Assess. Evaluate. Survive. Then the courtroom doors exploded open. 4 members of the Naval Criminal Investigative Service strode in, their credentials already out. Behind them, 2 officers from the Judge Advocate General's Corps in full dress uniform. And finally, 2-star Rear Admiral whose ribbons told a story of decades of service, Rear Admiral James Corrigan, surveyed the scene with the cold precision of a man who'd commanded carrier strike groups. His eyes found Marcus on the floor, then moved to Halstead. What in God's name is happening in this courtroom? His voice wasn't loud, but it silenced every whisper. Judge Morrison recovered first. Admiral, I don't know what brings you here. But Your Honor, I'm here regarding Commander Marcus Thompson. One of the finest naval officers in the United States military. Corrigan's eyes never left Halstead. I'm here because 3 weeks ago, Commander Thompson's attorney filed a formal complaint with the Department of Defense regarding civil rights violations, excessive force, and what appears to be a pattern of harassment. He held up a tablet. I'm here because we obtained Officer Halstead's dashboard camera footage, the original, before it was lost through a federal subpoena. I'm here because what I witnessed on that video was not just an unlawful stop, but an assault on a decorated combat veteran. The NCIS agents moved to Halstead's position. One of them spoke clearly, Officer Derek Halstead. You're being detained for questioning regarding violations of Title 18 U.S. Code. Section 242, deprivation of rights under color of law. Halstead's face went pale. You can't? This is a civilian matter? Commander Thompson was in active duty status at the time of the incident, one of the JAG officers stated. That makes this very much a military matter. It also makes this a federal matter. The Admiral knelt beside Marcus, his voice softening. Son, the medics are coming. Just stay still. Asterisk Marcus's voice was steady, despite the pain. Sir, I'm fine. I've had worse. Asterisk, I know your record, Commander. 3 bronze stars, a silver star, 2 purple hearts. You've been shot twice and kept fighting. But you shouldn't have to take a hit in an American courtroom. Corrigan stood, addressing Judge Morrison. Your Honor, the Department of Defense formally requests custody of all materials related to this case. We're also requesting a full investigation into Officer Halstead's history. Asterisk Judge Morrison nodded slowly. Granted. And Officer Halstead, as of this moment, you are also facing contempt of court charges for assault in my courtroom. Bailiff, place him in custody. Asterisk as paramedics arrived to treat Marcus, Halstead was led away in handcuffs, his career and freedom evaporating before his eyes. The Admiral crouched down again as they bandaged Marcus's head. Asterisk, why didn't you fight back, Commander? You could have put him down in 2 seconds. Asterisk Marcus smiled grimly. Because then, I'd be the violent black man he wanted me to be, sir. Sometimes the hardest battle is the one where you don't throw a punch. Asterisk Admiral Corrigan nodded with deep respect. That's why you're a SEAL, Commander. Real strength isn't just about 4 sits, about discipline. Asterisk 3 months later, Marcus stood in a different courtroom as Officer Derrick. Halstead was sentenced to 2 years in federal prison for civil rights violations. The investigation had uncovered 17 similar incidents spanning 5 years, a pattern of targeting, harassment, and violence. Asterisk Marcus didn't feel victorious. He felt tired. But as he walked out of the courthouse in his dress uniform, the afternoon sun warm on his face, he allowed himself a moment of satisfaction. Asterisk justice, when it finally came, was worth the wait.